One autumn morning, as golden leaves gently fell across the schoolyard, a renowned sage known for his inspiring teachings visited a small secondary school. He was deeply respected for his ability to convey life's philosophies in a simple yet profound way. Today, he brought with him a large, empty glass jar and a mysterious cloth bag. As he stepped into the classroom, his eyes sparkled as if he held a great secret. The students, who had been chatting animatedly, suddenly fell silent upon seeing him. They were curious about what was about to happen. "Hello everyone," he began warmly. "Today, I want to share a small lesson about life with you." He placed the jar on the table and slowly opened the cloth bag, revealing large stones, each about the size of a fist. "These are stones," he said, holding one up for the class to see. "They represent the most important things in your lives." He then began placing the stones into the jar, one by one, carefully and deliberately. The students watched in silence, unsure of what he was doing. When the jar was filled with stones, he turned to the class and asked, "Do you think this jar is full now?" The class responded in unison, "Yes, it's full." But instead of stopping, the sage smiled and pulled out a bag of small pebbles. "What about these pebbles?" he asked. He poured them into the jar, shaking it gently so they filled the gaps between the stones. "Now, is the jar full?" This time, some students hesitated. "Maybe not yet," a boy at the back of the class spoke up. The sage nodded, his eyes encouraging. "That's right, there's still room." He then took out a bag of sand and poured it into the jar. The fine grains filled every remaining crevice. "What about now?" he asked again. The class replied, "It's definitely full now." But the sage still didn't stop. He took out a jug of water and slowly poured it into the jar. The water seeped into the sand, filling every last bit of space. Only then did he nod and say, "Now the jar is truly full." The students looked at each other, both amazed and puzzled. They didn't understand the meaning behind these strange actions. The sage looked at the class, his eyes filled with kindness, and began to explain. The sage stood before the class, his gaze gentle yet powerful. He looked at each student, as if ensuring his message would touch every heart. "This jar," he began, his warm voice filling the room, "represents your life. The stones are the most important things: family, health, and loved ones. If everything else were lost and only these stones remained, your life would still be fulfilling." He paused for a moment, letting his words sink into the students' minds. "Do you know, family is the place you can always return to, no matter how harsh the outside world may be. Health is the most precious thing, because without it, you cannot achieve anything. And your loved ones, they are the ones who will always stand by you in your toughest moments." A boy sitting in the middle row, named Peter, suddenly thought about his own family. He remembered the warm family dinners, the joyful stories they shared together. A sense of gratitude welled up inside him. "I haven't spent enough time with my parents," Peter thought to himself. "I need to change." The sage continued, "The pebbles represent other important things: your job, your home, your car. They are the things that help you survive and thrive in society. But they are not what determine your true happiness." He picked up a small pebble, turning it in his hand. "You may have a good job, a beautiful house, but without family and health, would you truly be happy?" His question made the class ponder. A girl named Olivia, sitting in the corner, suddenly remembered the days she was so absorbed in her studies that she ignored her mother's calls. She felt a pang of regret and promised herself to spend more time with her family. "And the sand," the sage said, pointing to the fine layer of sand in the jar, "symbolizes the small, trivial things in daily life. They are the chores, the little tasks you have to do every day. They can take up a lot of your time and energy, but they do not determine the value of your life." He looked at the class, his eyes filled with understanding. "If you pour the sand or the pebbles into the jar first, there will be no room for the stones. The same goes for life. If you spend all your time and energy on the small, mundane tasks, you won't have room for the things that truly matter most." A student named Alex, who was always active and busy with extracurricular activities, suddenly realized he had missed many precious moments with his family. He wondered, "What have I been doing with my time? Am I truly happy?" The sage went on. "Life is not about cramming as much as possible into a single day. It's about prioritizing, making sure the most important things always have a place in your life. Spend time with your family, take care of your health, and pursue your passions. Don't let the small things overshadow the precious stones in your life." He paused, letting his words resonate deeply. "You know, when you grow older, you won't regret not working extra hours at the office or not cleaning your house more thoroughly. You will regret not spending enough time with your loved ones, not taking better care of yourself." A girl named Sophia, sitting in the front row, felt tears rolling down her cheeks. She remembered the times she declined invitations from friends because she was too busy studying. She told herself, "I need to change. I need to live more fully." The sage looked at the class, his eyes filled with affection. "And finally, the water," he said, pointing to the jug of water on the table, "symbolizes the small but beautiful moments in life. A cup of coffee with friends, a relaxing afternoon, or a shared smile. No matter how busy life gets, there's always room for these moments." He smiled, as if reminiscing about beautiful memories from his own life. Life is not just about the stones, pebbles, and sand. It's also about the tiny drops of water, the moments you will cherish forever. Don't forget to enjoy those moments. When the sage finished his lesson, the class fell silent for a moment, as if everyone was reflecting on his words. Then, slowly, applause filled the room, not just for his wisdom, but for the genuine emotions he had conveyed. Peter, Olivia, Alex, Sophia, and all the other students felt a shift within themselves. They realized that life is not a race to accomplish the most, but a journey to find true meaning and happiness. From that day on, they would start rearranging their priorities, ensuring that the precious stones always had a place in the jar of their lives. The sage concluded, "Remember, your life is a jar. Put the stones in first, and everything else will find its place. Don't let the small things overshadow what truly matters. And don't forget, there's always room for the small, beautiful moments in life." Thank you so much for watching this video and joining us on this journey of reflection and wisdom. We hope this story about the jar of life has inspired you to rethink your priorities and focus on what truly matters. If this message resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Let's spread this valuable lesson together. Don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Life and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our future stories and life lessons. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue creating meaningful content for you. Remember, life is a precious jar. Fill it with the stones first, and everything else will find its place. Until next time, take care of your stones, cherish your moments, and make every day count. Thank you for being part of the Wisdom Life community.